I get a lot of questions about my success as a leader. What was the best piece of advice I was ever given? It wasn't a piece of advice that made me better. It was something that I saw in a leader that made me gravitate more towards their example. I'm Eric with Leadership Developed. This week we're going to talk about the best advice that I was given to make myself successful as a leader. So the first and most important thing to understand is people gravitate to what they believe is right. Most of the times, though, the examples that we have in our leadership is within our organizations. And then we emulate what we think works best because our boss has been successful that way, so we have to be that way. That's not always the case. Actually, you find yourself creating an echo chamber in which everyone starts falling apart. The culture starts falling apart, the people start leaving, and now you're in a miserable place. Some of the best things that I saw are outside my realm, or outside my environment in which I worked in. Some of the greatest examples I saw were not from other pilots. It wasn't from other Marines. It's actually from a special ops commander. I got a privilege to sit in this room and to listen to this commander take in all these accounts and updates from around the world via satellite video. And the thing that struck me the most with him whenever he got done talking with any of his commanders around the world was, 1, you're the person with the boots on the ground. I trust your judgment. What can I do to help you? 2, what resources do you need to be successful? By learning those words, it helped me understand that a leader creates the atmosphere for their people to be successful. It also gives the confidence to the whole organization that this commander believes in this person to be able to do the job that they were assigned to do. They're not micromanaged, they're not second-guessed, they are ultimately trusted with that responsibility. What can you do as a leader to be able to foster that type of innovation, to foster that type of environment where all the people feel confident and trusting in you? First, create the environment of trust. Creating the environment of trust is, hey, you hired somebody on with this job description. Allow them to do their job. Your job is to A, teach them, B, guide them, and C, evaluate them. Those 3 things are what's going to allow them to be successful. If you start micromanaging them, if you start looking over their shoulder and you start second-guessing them, there's just going to be another drone worker doing what they are told to do. You don't need that. You as a leader need free thinkers. Be able to have that agility. They're able to make decisions within the guidelines that you provide by being able to tell them, hey, this is my vision, this is our mission, and this is our core values. These are the areas where you can make a decision. I ask that you bring it up to my attention for a decision if it goes outside this scope. There you've allowed them to be able to make decisions, to be able to take your intent because you communicated the vision to them. You're allowing them to say, what can I do to hit that vision? What can my team do to hit that vision? And then they're going to do the same thing with their people. Hey, you're an expert in this area. We need to come up with this. How do we come together to be able to focus on that? You are in control of your own realm. You're in control of your world. The people that you allow in that world need to have the freedom to move around that world, to feel valued within the world that you've created. If they don't feel valued, they'll walk away. They'll begrudge you forever. I have a lot of people I don't like because they were that way. But I have a lot of leaders I love because they allowed me to grow, they allowed me to hit the vision, and they allowed me to create leaders that I thought would be more successful than myself. If anything you can do to be an effective leader, ask your people these questions. How can I help? And what resources do you need? And finish it off with this. You're the expert. I trust your judgment. You'll see that you will go a long way, especially if you're a CEO, especially if you're a business owner, especially if you're an executive. Telling the people that are working the front lines for you will go a long way because you have shown them the ultimate trust to be able to accomplish what they have set out to do when you hired them. I'm Eric with Leadership Developed. If you like this video, hey, do us a favor, give us a thumbs up. while you're at it, hit subscribe. Help us build our community of leaders to grow more leaders, to have better leaders. If you missed last week's video, hey, check it out. It's right over here. We'll talk to you again next week.